Uh, Hello, I have a question. This session will be in English
Yes, the
or
session
other
will be in
language?
English
Oh, thanks.
and we will be starting in another 2 minutes.
Oh, okay, thanks.
So yes, let's get started. I'll share my screen. Yep. So in the last session, hope I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the last session, we would have seen about what LLM is, and also like we would have seen like what RAG is and how this is working. So today we'll be seeing like how you can write a test case for an LLM, how you will devise a test case. So let's do it together maybe. Mm, you can think of like you're testing an AI assistant. And now the requirement here is you have to summarize the document. Let's say you are giving an input to the chatbot, maybe ChatGPT. You are asking it to summarize a document and you are giving a context to it. So now, as a QA or a tester, what will you do normally? What is your first step? Any guesses?
Uh, can you repeat once, Gaurav?
Okay, sure. So we are going to write a test case together, okay? So now the requirement is you are going to ask a bot. It is an AI assistant. You can think of it like an AI assistant that's going to help you. Okay, so you are going to ask like the system to summarize a document. Okay, and you're going to give a context of the document. Maybe it can be 5, 6 lines of the document, and you're asking it to summarize. So this is the test scenario that we are considering now. what will you do first? What is your first step here?
Understanding the document,
Yes.
purpose
Understanding
and
what?
scope, its purpose and scope of the document.
Okay. Next,
We
we
need the test data, which is the document.
okay.
Um, Read the requirement and analyze that requirement.
Sorry, I didn't get.
Oh, and the first step,
Mm-hmm.
read requirement and the analyst that
Correct.
requirement.
Correct. Then we'll have some expected results. What will you put under expected result? Any guesses?
Matrices.
Matrices. Okay.
Means in the traditional testing, we used to have some expected output, but here we don't know what the output will come when we test the LLMs. So maybe we can assume that first it will provide some sort of output, then we will analyze whether it's a correct or incorrect.
Correct. We'll analyze it is correct or incorrect. So we'll have some output there. We'll not have expected result. Correct. What else we'll check there? Any other guesses? We don't have output now. So what do we check now?
First of all, we should have the knowledge base of what we are testing.
Yes, we should have it.
So based on the knowledge, we have to draft a defined output. Maybe we
How
can
will
give
you
that.
how will you draft that? Any idea?
Oh, based on the question which we ask, so we can estimate this can be the output. So and we can provide it as a expected output based
Okay.
on yeah.
Okay. Any example? Can you come up with some example?
Like, for example, if I take any banking application,
Mm,
so like what is a simple question if I ask what is payment, right?
mm, mm.
So payment I can give at what exactly the transferring of funds, and there might be different criterias for that eligibilities and all.
Okay.
So we can mention close call of what what the answer should be in a close call with the question which we are asking within the boundary, not too much extensive, but like different type of payment, what are different type of customers and all. I don't need that. So till the eligibility part and what is payment, how to do the payment, the steps in the application. So if we define that, maybe with respect to answer, it can compare and give the scores.
Okay. Okay. So what we are doing here is we are not validating the output. So we are going to validate the behavior. So what you told now is a behavior, how the answer should look like. It's not the exact answer. We came up with a sample answer here, but not the exact answer, right? And we are going to compare it with the answer that is being generated. So a sample answer only we can draft now. We cannot give a exact answer. If it is a normal thing, maybe if you want to check what is 2 plus 2, you will have an exact answer there that it is 4. But in this case, you will not have an exact answer. You will have a expected behavior. Okay, so what you will be checking here is what must always be true, no matter how the wording changes. So what should be true? As we discussed, the context should be complete. Like it should pick from the existing context. Is it picking it from the context that I gave as an input? Right? Someone said that. So like that, we need to define some behaviors, not the output. And it can be like the wordings can change, the content can change, everything can change, but still this is how the output should look like. Is my output having having a very less hallucination? Is it generating a new response for me? Is it taking content from the existing one? Is it toxic? Like that, we need to come up with some behaviors. Okay. So now for a good summary, what and all things you will check now. So I told you it's about behavior. So when you think about behavior, what and all comes to your mind? Nothing?
The response time.
Relevant output we have to get.
Okay, what does relevant output mean?
Uh, it what the input we have given in the same context we have to get the relevant output. Like we should not get any some random or junk output which is not useful, which we have provided as input.
Yes, correct. This is one point. Yes. Next. What else?
Whether the application meets the requirement.
Okay, what requirement? Requirement is a generic term.
Whatever is in the document.
Okay. Okay, let's say you have to
Form.
come up with a requirement. What requirements will you put in?
That's the yeah, I mean, I cannot really explain it. It's the
Uh,
expected requirement.
Correct. What kind, like how the output should look like? How it should behave, not the exact output, how it should behave. So I gave some examples like it should not be toxic. You can think about the length of the answer. It can be a one liner, it can be 5 lines, it can be 10 lines, or it can be an essay. So, how the length is going to come? This is one more behavior. Like that. What else is coming up in your mind?
The format of the response,
Yes, the format.
and also from which document it is retrieving from the same document which is expected.
Correct.
I mean, if you're talking about behavior, it should not be biased output. I mean, it should be.
Exactly. Bias is one component.
If it is out of the knowledge, the
Mm,
question is asked, or anything which we
mm.
are trying to generate response which is out of its knowledge, means not within the boundary. So it should fall back.
Yes, correct. Awesome. Okay. We defined a lot of expected behavior for the summary that we want. So these are some of the things that we have to check in case if you are checking some AI response. These are some of the behaviors that we have to take into account. And so now what we have done is we have moved from output to guardrail. So guardrail in the sense like behaviors, like the set of behaviors that it should follow. It can have this much amount of summary. The summary can be from this part of the what is it input document that we gave. So like that we came up with some guardrails and we came up with some behaviors. So as long as the output is within the guardrail, we mark it as pass or fail. See, for example, we are going to generate a summary, and this summary is taking context from the particular document, and it is taking 80% from the document, and 20% it is generating. And we will set a guardrail, like we can set like 80% if it is taking from the document, we are okay with it. Or we can also set a guardrail like 90% it has to take it from the document. 10% it can put its own words and generate a summary for us. So like that, we will be setting a guardrail here for the expected behavior. So now we'll see like how much we have understood. So I have two summaries, two outputs basically. So one output is clear, it is neutral, but it is shorter, like the length is shorter, and it is covering almost all the points that I need. Okay, it has summarized and gave me the points. Second one, Second one, it's fluent, it's confident, but it introduces one small new fact. Okay. So now, which one do you consider it as pass and which one will you consider it as fail and why? Any guesses? Any answers?
Output A,
Okay, why output A?
because it is neutral and clear what it is the expected one and covers all the point. But B is giving an answer which is new fact which we didn't ask.
Okay, so output A is pass, output B is fail, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, any other answers?
Combine both A and B and pick the probabilistic
Okay,
facts.
okay. Meaning like what probability you're going to take now? How will you
Well,
say like which one is good for you?
I mean, whatever the knowledge base
Hmm.
reflects,
Okay,
um, and pick from both A and B.
okay, okay. One new answer. Yes. Any other answers? Okay.
May I know
I
what is
say
that?
like yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sorry, ma'am. So what is that new fact? I didn't get clarity. But introduces new fact means what exactly?
Okay,
Introduce.
so let's say the summary is about health and wellness, and there are certain facts like these are some of the healthy things that you need to do. Maybe you need to do yoga in the morning, go for jogging, and etc. But it in output A, it has mentioned like whatever was there, it covered all the points. It told about jogging, yoga, and everything. Output B also said the same thing, but it added one more extra thing like you have to walk for, you have to take 1,000 steps every day. So this is one new fact that it has added as a part of the summary.
So new fact will have always a risk associated with it. It can be true
Mm,
or it cannot be true. So
yes,
it might hallucinate if we try to add new fact because
yes,
uh, maybe the wordings as you mentioned in last class, like one
mm,
particular well, health means it will consider everything health related and like gym. If I tell gym, right?
mm,
So gym and weightlifting is one and the same. I mean
mm,
similar.
mm.
So it might take lift weight more kg if you lift, if it will be good for your health, like somewhat something which might add a new fact which is not exactly uh, echoing what we are expecting. It might deviate with the
Yes,
context.
yes. So which one you say it as pass, which output is fail?
Output A is pass because
Mm,
output B is confident fluent, but if there is a always risk associated if it introduces new fact, it might be true, it might not be true, or it might be
exactly.
absent. So that is a, we don't need anything which is not relevant. We want only relevant things. Even if it is neutral, clear, I'm fine with it.
Okay, okay. Nice answer, nice explanation. So what I will regard as output B, I'll mark it as false or fail, and output A, I'll mark it as pass. So it's not because of the wording or something, or but because of its fluency or the confidence and all. It is because of the behavior. It has violated one behavior. Which behavior? It has taken context, a new context. It has introduced something new. It has not picked exactly from what I gave as input. It has framed its new sentence and drafted its own fact, and it has come up with a new answer altogether, right? So it is a violation of the behavior which we stated. So that's why I'll mark this as false, output B as false, and output A is true. True, sorry, in the case like pass. Okay. And why this is hard to, look for these kind of things is because we are always judging based on exact matches. We look for exact matches. We check the requirements document. Whatever is mentioned there, we check if that is coming up, and we'll just mark it as a pass off. If there's a login button, I'll have in the requirement document, like I have to click on the login button and I have to go to this page, and we'll be validating the same. And the page URL also, we will know, we'll do an exact match of the URL and our test cases pass. But here we are going to judge the quality, we are going to judge the risk, we are going to look for the risk that can come up. What is the risk if I introduce a new value? What if the bot is coming up with a new value? At that point, it is a risk, right? So we will be judging these things. And that's a little bit new for all of us. And yeah, next is this is the first step, like whatever we saw now. Now we'll be deep diving on how you can design a LLM specific test case. But before that, is everyone clear with the probabilistic and deterministic output? If not, I'll give a quick glimpse of it. Okay, probabilistic output is, sorry, I'll come the other way around. Deterministic output means you will have the exact output. You know the answer there. It's not going to change. If you test a login feature today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, everywhere, same answer only you will get. If you're going to ask 2 plus 2 after 20 years, same answer, it will be 4 only. It will not change at all. That is deterministic output. Probabilistic output is kind of changing output. It is based on probability. LLM is going to come up with the next word based on probability. It will read the first word, it will see it is large, second word is language, then the third word it will predict it will be model. So like that, if it is going to give a different output at different time, then that we call it as probabilistic output. Okay, so the step one when you get an LLM to test, first step will be to identify the LLM role. Like, what is the role of the LLM? What LLM are you going to test? There can be lots of LLMs in the market. Like you can have Q&A assistant. This Q&A assistant is the most popular one. Almost all the organizations, they have a Q&A assistant, right? Whatever website you open, when at the time when chatbot and all came into picture, no, at that time all the organizations, all the websites, they wanted one chatbot to be there, and these Q&A chatbots were giving static response on those days. Now we are in the AI world, and these bots are also upgraded. Now they are going to give a response. It is going to generate a response now. It will be giving a generated response, new responses it will be generating. So most popular ones are Q&A assistants, and then you will have summarizers, you will have some helpers, rewriters, and you will have tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and all. So all these are the most common LLMs that we have. Yeah, is anyone having any question? Okay, okay, I'll move on. And each of these LLMs that we discuss now, no, it has its own risks, it has its own failure, it has some its own conditions or guardrails. The guardrails are not same for all the LLMs. It is us who has to define what the guardrail should be, how much percentage it has to pick from the context, how much it can pick from external. If it is picking from external, what are the risks associated? So that's what we need to define for the LLM. See, for example, I'll take a summarizer LLM. So if it is going to miss the important points, then it is a failure for me. And if it is going to bring up new facts altogether, then also it's a failure for me, because its role is to summarize the content that I give it as an input. If it is not going to summarize, and if it is going to bring up new things, then that is also failure. But wording differences, that is okay for me. If it is going to, use different kind of wordings or format, that is okay for me. But instead of this, if it is adding new points, that is failure. Um, and also if you take a decision Q&A or a decision kind of bot, and if this is going to answer with overconfidently, if it rates any one of the value which you give, say for example you are going to ask this bot, hey, help me decide which option, should I watch this movie or this movie, and this bot is going to overconfidently say go for this one movie, then that is a failure for me. And if it is not sure like which one is the best one or something, if it has some uncertainty in it, that I can accept. Uncertainty is okay for me for this bot. So based on the role which your bot is playing, your guardrails and your pass and fail scenarios will vary. Next step is to understand what the user is actually trying to do. What is his intention? His intention is the next point. Because one prompt can have a lot of meaning, right? A person can ask about river bank and he can also ask about the money bank. So what is his intention behind this query? That is the second point. So this LLM also behaves, variously based on what the user is asking. Say for example, if a user asks, summarize the report, okay, what kind of user can he be? Who will usually ask for this question? Summarize this report. Any answers?
User can be anyone.
Yes. What role can he be? Like, it can be anyone. It's going to be human. Who might ask this question frequently?
Sorry, question is about who will ask the report, right?
Your voice is very low for me.
Mm, Can you hear me now?
Yes, little better.
Yeah, question is about who will ask the report.
Yes.
Yeah.
Summarize the report is the prompt. What kind of
Mhm.
users will ask this report? What can be the role of the user?
Admins,
A-
Testers.
Analysts,
leadership,
Data,
Yes,
data
leaders.
analyst, data extraction.
lead, leadership
correct,
role.
correct, correct. Analysts will ask, some leaders will ask, executives will ask. So, for these people, what kind of answer should I give? How the bot should respond? So, we have to think in that way. Okay, summarize the report. This will be asked by these set of people. They are executives, they are analysts, they can be students also. Okay, for these people, I have to give a report in this style and in this format. If I give it in this way, then that will be helpful for them. Because the same prompt, but the people who read through the answer, they'll have set of certain set of expectation. So based on the expectation and the user's intent, we are trying to give out a response. Okay. Next is identifying the risk. So usually we also saw, right? One person mentioned like we need to see if there is a risk about the health and wellness, what we discussed. How much risk I'm okay with. Because all our test cases are risk driven only. Like how much risk is there if there is new content that's going to be coming up, or it is generating a new content, what is the risk of this? What can be the risk? Right? So it is not a feature driven one, it is a risk driven one. And the most common risks are hallucination is one. We would have seen about hallucination. Like hallucination is like Generating a new response or new fact or introducing facts that are not there in the context, bringing up something new is called hallucination. Then wrong tone. Next is the wrong tone. Wrong tone in the sense like if the tone of the response is bit rude or it is not neutral, then we regard it as a wrong tone. And then we have some risks like bias. Bias is most common one. Like if you are going to ask a bot about certain things and it is going to answer only for a particular role, or it is going to be gender bias, or it is going to come up with a cultural bias or language bias or something like that, then that is also risk for us. And one more is ignoring the context. One is adding extra context, other one is ignoring a part of context. If it leaves out a complete part of context which it has to respond, then that is also one of the bias. Okay. um let's say like we have a chatbot that is going to be used by the executives. Okay, what would be the major risks that might come up?
Wrong information.
Yes, that is the first risk. Correct.
Also, financial losses.
Sorry, what was it?
Financial losses. So,
Correct. Okay. Financial related information. Yes. Next.
Maybe it reveals some sort of data that is not required for the executive level.
Yes. This is also one more risk. Correct.
Incomplete information.
Incomplete information. Yes. Correct.
Yeah, one that you already mentioned, the biased one, biased
Yes.
risk.
Bias is there. Okay. Okay. I will give something like key information. If the important information that has to be present, if it is missed, that is also a problem. Then wrong confidence, if it is confidently saying some wrong information, then that is also bias, right? These are some more things which I could think of right now. So we don't test LLM by the feature by feature, we test them by risk. So we need to identify what and all risks that might come up when we have a LLM with us, when we are going to start with the LLM testing. And we have to list down what are the risks that we are going to identify as a part of testing. So your requirement document or your test document or test report should be talking about the risks that you have validated. I have validated hallucination as a part of this. This much is the hallucination percentage. My LLM is hallucinating 10 percentage. My LLM is hallucinating 20 percentage. So this is what your report will reflect. Okay, it will not say a pass or fail. We will be saying this much percentage of hallucination I had. Okay, so we'll move on to next step. Yeah, we saw this. Like, we will not be validating the expected output. We will be validating the expected behavior. Like, it should not hallucinate, should be within the context, it should be polite enough. And if it doesn't know, like, it should be able to give us an answer like it doesn't know, right? We test the behaviors here. And yeah, next is like the quality dimensions, like what and all dimensions we can think of, what and all dimensions we need to look for. So this is the actual replacement of your expected result. So this is what you need to add it in your report document. So Every LLM test case, it will have like what good means here. So which one do you regard as good? What is good for us? It depends based on LLM. It varies from one LLM to another LLM. Say for example, if I am going to design an LLM or if I am going to test an LLM, I will define certain metrics and certain percentage as good for me. But for another LLM, it will vary. It will be a different value. So there is no, common way or common manner or common baseline which we can follow for all the LLMs. So yeah, the quality dimensions. First one is correctness. Correctness is the first metric which we need to check to know like if is the information factually right. Next metric which we need to use is completeness. Did it miss a key info? Next is like groundedness. Is it based on the context provided? Say I said no, like it should be from the context that I gave as input. It should not be, taking a new context altogether. And next one is the clarity. Is it understandable? Like, am I getting an output which I can read and understand? Or is it going to give me a new output altogether which is not readable for me? Like, I should be able to understand from that. And we all would have tried one thing on ChatGPT. We would have got an answer, and most of us would have asked, "Give me in simple English." Right? Or we would have asked like, I want it in this format. I don't want this format. Give me in this format because I'm not able to understand this. So we have to check if we are able to and if the output is understandable. And next is the safety metric. Is there any toxic content or unsafe content? Let's say like uh, there is some confidential information, or there is some violence kind of information. Okay, so those kind of details our bot should not be giving, or our LLM should not give that answers, right? If someone is asking help like, how can I kill someone, our bot should not go and respond this saying like, these are the steps, follow these steps, these are the ways. It should not be giving any toxic response, the response or unsafe content. And if someone is asking for medicines for some disease or something, and our LLM should not go there and suggest some medicines or treatment there, that's toxic for me. And this toxicity can vary. Like if this is going to be a medical one, a medical application, then this is going to vary. If someone is coming and asking for treatment for some kind of things in a medical world, this LLM could answer in a better way. Like, please reach out to this doctor. He'll be able to help you to treat this. This can be the response, right? Instead, if it is going to suggest something which is negative, then that is becoming a safety concern for us. Next is confidence control. It should not overconfidently state something. Like with 100% confidence, it should not state something. Say, for example, if I'm asking about, hey, can you suggest me the best restaurant? I have few options. I have restaurant A, restaurant B, restaurant C. Which one is the best one? So now our bot should not be going and picking one restaurant and giving it as the, hey, this is the restaurant. You can go here. It should not be overconfidently stating something which it doesn't know. So overconfidence, those levels and metrics also we need to take into account.
Yeah, how to recognize the LLM is providing the result with the overconfident?
Okay, so we can devise some metrics around it. We can, use evaluation pipelines and evaluation tools. We have DeepEval and all. So with that, we will be able to find out, like, okay, this much and confidence, this much percentage of confidence it is giving. This what it is suggesting. So this baseline is okay for me. So we can define a small baseline for this, and from the metric that we get, we can go ahead, like I'm okay with this baseline.
Okay, got it.
Okay, moving on to next one. Yeah. So we also need to, design some negative and ambiguous prompts also, because we cannot go only with the happy parts. Because there are going to be a lot of people who come and use our application. And this AI is always probabilistic and it gives ambiguous output only. We don't know like what kind of output it's going to give. So we should also come up with some negative prompts and ambiguous prompts. So say for example, I can ask the bot directly, like summarize this report, and I'm not giving any context. It doesn't know what the report is. It's just a text summarize the report. You open ChatGPT and type summarize the report. We didn't give any report. It doesn't know what it is. So how is it handling it? Is it gracefully giving an answer like please give me the report, or I don't have the report, or is it asking us a question back like do you want to provide your report so that I can start with the summarization? So, how is it handling? How is it working in this scenario? So, we have to give a incomplete prompt in this case. Next is um, leading prompts. Leading prompts in the sense the next prompt. First, we asked like about report. Now we can ask like, hey, my report states so and so. Is this right? Or we can also say like we can ask like 2 plus 2 it gives 4, and I can say like, hey, your answer is wrong. 2 plus 2 is 5. It's not 4. You have answered it wrong. How is your bot going to react in that case? Is it going to agree to it, or is it going to, clearly state like this is the answer, like you have made a mistake? How is it going to react in that situation? So this is leading prompt. Leading prompt is prompt after another. Then risky prompts. Risky prompts I gave, I said no medical advice or any legal advice. And say for example, we can ask legal advice also, right? It knows about law and other things. So if we ask a legal advice, how is it responding? Okay, is it adding any references or not? Is it refusing it? If yes, how is it doing it? So these are some of the things that I can validate. And one more thing is ambiguous prompts. Is it asking any clarifying questions if I ask something ambiguous? Is it going to respond to it? Just if I say summarize the policy or summarize the report, is it going to summarize some random report and give me an output? Or is it asking a clarifying question or second question, like give me the report or tell me what I have to do? Okay. Then we have to work on breaking the model on purpose, because all the happy parts will work for us. If we ask an input, it is going to give an output. We all know like LLM doesn't refuse it. Almost all the time it will give you an output, something it will print on the output. Ask ChatGPT something, you will get some output or the other. You will not get like I don't know the answer. Every time there will be some answer it is going to give you. So it will work great on happy parts. So if you try checking all these you know new ambiguous or negative scenarios, that's where you will get the issues. And the next thing what you can try on is conflicting instructions. You can give it two three different things to do. Say for example, generate a summary of this report and analyze this summary and give me a report, or give me a new form of report, a bullet point or something, a format you can give. So if you are giving three four instructions together, how is it responding? And certain cases you can give a very long input, a very lengthy input. How is it responding? If you are giving a lengthy input, maybe 5,000 to 6,000 words, ChatGPT will say like, I'm not able to process. Please reduce something, some word content and all. So how is it responding in that sense? And if you're giving a very short input, a shorter input, one word input, is it able to, give me the answer or not? If I just say summarize, how is it reacting? Is it going to ask me the question like what should I summarize? Or is it going to talk about what summarize is? If it starts saying summarize is a word, which means preparing a draft or something, uh, in short words or short form, then that is an issue for us, right? And also like how it is handling a combination of instructions. So these are some of the things, some of the test cases we should take care of. And also like we have to think of like the ways in which the users can misuse our LLM or our bot, right? How people can misuse this. Those scenarios also we should take into account. Yes, I think we are on time. We will see this maybe in the next session. Yes, any questions till now? We'll have Q&A for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I want to know means all these points which we have discussed so far. So for testing these points, do we have any tool or how we can proceed with the testing means, or we have to manually check these points?
Yes, manually checking this is tedious. We can check by reading the summaries, the answers and all. Say for example, if you are checking ChatGPT, you there are n number of users, billions of users using ChatGPT, and reading all the lines and all the summaries is bit tedious. So for this only we have a tool called DeepEval. So DeepEval is a framework which we will be using, and this framework will give you metrics. Say for example, if you want to check how much hallucination is there in the summary that is generated, DeepEval will do the testing for us, and it will tell us like how much percentage of hallucination is there. And based on this percentage, we can decide if our current LLM model is okay or not. And if the percentage is going to be very high for me, it is hallucinating 90% of hallucination I have, then I have to go and change my model. I have to, fix the hallucination, right? I have to work on fixing the model or the LLM.
Okay. And this percentage of hallucination which you are talking about, who decided how much percentage is okay and how much is not?
Okay. It's us or it's the team who has to decide. Usually, how we can do is you can evaluate between lot of models and lot of versions and see like how much percent you are okay with, and there is always a scope of improvement everywhere, right? Whatever you build in the first level, it will be having a lot of issues, like you will have 50% hallucinations. So are we okay with this 50% is what you have to discuss with the team as a team and take the decision like how much percentage you are okay with. And let's say if you're okay with 70% hallucinations, then yes, you have to. Ideal scenario is you should not have hallucination. There shouldn't be any hallucination,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
you're
But in an organization, suppose if we any organization is creating any LLM based application, then
mhm.
in that case the requirement comes from the team that this much hallucination would be allowed, or the tester who is testing they has to decide.
Okay. So this is not one person's decision. So for us, it is zero hallucinations. There shouldn't be any hallucination. The answer should be relevant, and it should be, giving a correct answer is what our expectation is. That is the ideal case. But we should be okay with 95% also, but it should be a team's decision. It is not one person's decision, and the requirement and everything also you have to discuss with the wider group and with your team members and your leads and everyone, and you have to discuss and come up with this number.
Okay.
So it is not one single number we can blindly go and pick. It is based on the various refinements and improvements that you do in the bot.
Okay, but is there any company standard that 0 to 10% is allowed or like this?
It is purely dependent on your organization only. Some projects they will be okay with 10%. Some projects they will be okay with 20%. 20% hallucination, I'm okay with it. Some they will be like, yeah, I am okay with only 5%. Let's improve or let's work on improving it. There's
Okay,
always a
understood.
chance or scope of improvement.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions from anyone?
Ma'am, do you have any sample report which you can show or something?
I don't have it now handy. I can show you maybe in the next session.
Sure, got it. And one more thing which I want to check is like,
Mm,
let us say there is one test case and
mm,
the LLM is hallucinating for it.
mm,
In the response we have reported, they will fine tune it again that a LLM is not hallucinating that much as before. The issue is almost fixed.
mm.
Okay, so again we have to revamp our test cases, right? Like if we can't use the same test case.
Correct, correct. Because LLM keeps changing, and the users' database and users also keep changing. So every time we have to, revamp our test case. Our test case will not be static. Earlier, no, if we prepare our test case, it will be like go to this page, check if these things are there. If the UI is looking like this, if I click on this button, if it is going to the next page, and is it adding product to the cart? So this will be my test cases earlier. But now, if you have a static test case, then that is a very big risk. Every time you fine tune your model, or every now and then you have to be writing your new test cases, and also you have to be building up on top of the existing one based on the model which you are releasing. And even if you are not releasing any new model, or it is the same old model that you have deployed, and it has
Mhm.
been a year, you haven't deployed anything there, then also your users mindset will change, right? Users keep asking different things based on different things that are happening. The earlier set of users mindset would be different. Earlier people would have asked about a movie that was released at that time. Now
Mhm.
their mindset would have shifted. They are not interested in movies. They might be asking something related to technology. So the user base itself changed. So based on that, we have to make our LLM also, up to that
Mhm.
level. We should be early able to, switch or revamp our test cases.
Got it, ma'am. Like for example, let us say there
Mm,
is one LLM has been built and we
mm,
have trained on
mm,
health related information,
mm,
healthcare related, right?
mm,
So that is one LLM which we have, and to evaluate that we are using DeepEval, right?
mm.
So
Yes,
here we are using DeepEval to evaluate its response, but DeepEval don't have that knowledge, no? Like we have fed the knowledge to our LLM, but we are using DeepEval to evaluate that. How will that DeepEval be able to judge what our response is correct or not? Unless until this DeepEval is also trained on that.
correct. DeepEval should also have this context, else it will not be able to tell you. Like it should also know like what the context is.
So that's what I wanted to check here. We are using the DeepEval to as a evaluation tool, right?
Yes.
So like as you mentioned in the first class, like we have one LLM which is already designed with
Mm,
some set of information. It has been fed and trained. We will be
mm,
using that chatbot to
mm.
test, right? So that is some LLM it is using. Maybe
Yes.
let me take example. I'm saying just Olama something, some version it is using in Olama.
Okay.
So in DeepEval also we are using some version. We are
Mm,
trying to evaluate the output of this, but
mm.
DeepEval is not trained, no? Like what exactly? Because it's how can it judge someone when it don't know the don't know the information correctly? Like for example, if I want to judge someone on any information, I should be knowing that information first. I should be well versed with that. Then only I can judge or advise someone. So in that
Correct.
perspective, how DeepEval is judging our LLM? Is it how it is trained? How DeepEval is trained on what our LLM is already trained?
Okay. Okay. So our LLM will be picking context from the context that we are feeding in. It is
Mhm.
going to be a RAG-based application, so it is going to pick from that and give you the response. It is going to use some OpenAI API or OpenAI or something. Some GPT is going to use. And our deep eval, this is you're going to use a separate, separate LLM. Maybe you can think of some Gemini model that it is going to use. And this will also have the context. It will, like, we will be giving the context, like use this context, and based on this context, tell me like how much, relevant this answer is. We can feed in the context as well. And we can also, generate a data and say like, this is what my expected output is. Say for example, if you are doing evaluation on normal LLM, it is going to um, maybe check for if the answer is toxic or not, toxicity maybe. So for that we can define like these are some of the toxic things that I want, these are some of the toxic things, and if it is coming into this category, then I'll be regarding it as toxic. So we will be feeding in knowledge for this deep eval also to come up with this metrics. So it will have some context. Without context, how will my deep eval know about the relevancy? It will have some context to it.
Okay, but my point was like we are feeding huge data to our LLM when it
Mm,
comes to RAG, but are
mm.
we feeding the same data to uh, DeepEval as well? Is my question. Because unless until DeepEval know what exactly the knowledge base, unless until
Mm.
that knows, then only it can tell your score is 80 or 90 like that.
Yes, yes, correct. We will be feeding knowledge to that. Correct.
Okay.
Without knowledge, it will not be able to tell you.
And also, what are the list of metrics we will be evaluating? Is that the same one which you shared in the few slides back?
Mm, yeah, I can share that with you. I don't have it handy now. There are 4, 5 metrics which we will be evaluating with DPPAL. And
Okay.
with that knowledge, you will be able to come up with new matrices on your own. I'll be showing you how you can validate 3, 4 matrices, and with that, you can extend it to other matrices.
Okay. Good. Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think we are on time. Anyone has any other question? Maybe with the one last question, we can close the call.
Yeah, I'm
Will you be
still
showing
trying
any
to
demo?
understand.
Shari?
Will you be showing any demo for the scripts?
Not now. Maybe in the sessions, in the upcoming sessions. Yes, I'll be
Would you be
showing you.
able to just give us a just like at least like to see how it looks and that stuff?
I don't have it handy now.
Okay.
You. you can think of it like you will be getting some scores. You'll be running a pipeline or um a test maybe, and you will be getting scores based on that. And these scores you will evaluate like how much percentage is the hallucination or how much it is relevant kind of.
So Isha, I have a question. So next session, will it be free session or it's gonna be the paid one?
I think you can contact the admin for that.
Yeah, the reason being, right, if it is a free session, then we to decide, right, if I want to buy the course or not, right? A demo
Mm,
session would really help to understand what are we really gonna do, right? Because it's something new in the market and new for us to we are trying to understand. So if we can see an example, the way you're gonna teach us, that would help us to decide whether to the buy the course or not buy the course, right?
yeah.
So far the
I
sessions are
think
very helpful, but they're not practically seeing like how it is going to happen, right? One example where the chatbot is replying to us and we are trying to analyze with respect to the database. So that would help us to decide.
okay. You can think of it like ChatGPT. So you have
Yeah, I
ChatGPT,
can
right?
think of it. I was just thinking of if I can see it, right? How you're going to teach us.
Okay. So what we are planning to do is we'll be having an application like ChatGPT. You will be asking questions to it, and you will be getting a response for that. And we are going to validate the response. Basically, you will be validating how much are relevant this response is, how much toxic this response is. We'll be getting the matrices, and we'll be seeing the reasons like why it is um not why is it hallucinating, those reason, and the matrices is what we will be seeing.
So I'm
Oh,
still trying to understand here. Are we going to upload or giving the input as some business requirement like that, or the functional application kind of thing?
yeah,
How
it is
we
a
are going?
functional application, a small application that we will be testing. It is a bot, basically a bot.
Okay.
Ma'am, just one thing.
Mm,
Maybe one of our friend who asked uh, just before, like maybe they are expecting one practical way of one metric value evaluation for one particular
Yeah,
test case,
that's
if I'm
correct.
right,
not wrong.
That's
right.
correct. Yeah. So we haven't got uh, that's very true. Basically, I think couple of members requested already. So
Mm,
we haven't got the exact the thing what it is going to do. This is all theory and then all. I mean, we can imagine and then in ChatGPT we're all using already.
okay.
But what it is going to happen exactly, because you mentioned the Python and then
Mm,
integrating other
mm,
tools here as well. So how it is
mm,
going to um, you know um, look like. So if we
okay,
can have one more session, I mean, already we requested by others as well. So
okay,
that would be helpful. So yeah.
okay,
So
sure,
before we go and then pay
sure.
for
I'll
the entire course, yeah.
mm. Okay, got it.
And ma'am, like we are only sticking with respect to RAG, right? Not beyond RAG. We are going.
We are going to stick with the some RAG application and same you can, yeah, you can think of it like a RAG and LLM application.
Yeah, my question is like, I got it. I got your point. My
Mhm.
point, I mean, what I want to ask is like, RAG is something, a knowledge agent. So,
Right,
like, which is already fed and it is already static. And we can,
right.
of course, LLM can be tuned if it want to go to and search in the internet, or it has to stick onto the knowledge which has been trained. That is up to the developers, which they can do.
Mm,
So if I want to test also the not only the knowledge agent but real time agent. like it is performing something. I'm asking something. For example, if I say nowadays in company, right? So
Mm,
raising a Confluence ticket, if I take one of the example, so
mm,
that we will give one prompt and it will raise the Confluence ticket. That is something which real time agent is taking real time actions. So
mm. Right.
if you can add that also in, I mean, maybe few metrics, I mean, once one or two sessions, because that will be really helpful. I mean, that is what I think. Maybe you can take a call, but that's what my
Okay.
request was.
Sure, sure. I'll think about it. I'll check and maybe let you know.
Sure, ma'am. And the last class, one request I had regarding that logs, like
Yes.
lines width or line graph, are we incorporating that as well to get the logs from the backend, what from where the control is going to which?
No, currently we are not incorporating LangGraph and LangFuse as a part of this course.
Okay, because
Yeah.
And also, oh, sorry,
okay.
are you still continuing?
No, I'm done.
Or-
Thanks, ma'am.
uh,
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. So also, how do we report the issue? I don't know, probably I'm mixing the traditional and then the AI one. Any issue we see, how do we report? Like, I mean, basically we report into Jira or we document the error, right? Any error that we see.
Mm.
How do we report that? Like,
Okay. So once you get the metrics or once you have, know the issue, like how much percentage or something, you can follow whatever things that you're following in your, organization. If it is going to be a bug card or something, you can create that very well or log it somewhere so that, the next person can come and work on it or fine tune the model, basically. Did I answer your question? Or
yeah, I mean, how do
okay.
we have, I mean, we will have one like either Confluence or, the Jira to
Mm,
create the ticket or anything like that. But what information we do provide with that issue, basically?
maybe if you can tell me the issue, it will be helpful for me.
Like, I mean, for example, any like UI issue, we provide the logs or the basically developer logs or anything like that, right? So here, what do we provide with the issue? How
Say, for
what
example, I'll
happens?
take the same example hallucination you are going to check. In this case, you can give the report as this much percentage of hallucination is what I am observing. Can we reduce this? Can we reduce the hallucination? So we give the report on like how much hallucination we have, and you will not be testing one single output, right? You will be testing with a big data set. You will be testing with 20 30 prompts, not 20 30. It will be 200 2000. But when you're testing this, you will be getting an output like this much, this much have given me the right answer, this much have given me the wrong answer, this much have these many summaries were having hallucination, these many summaries were okayish, like, so I'll give it a score of 70%, I'll give it a score of 30%, like that. You will have divisions, so based on the divisions you can give a report. So this is how our bot has functioned, and this is how the summary is.
Okay, okay, got you. Okay.
Yes.
So basically, for lastly, you have mentioned that we will be having only reports, like this much percentage of hallucination we have. So
Yes.
in this process, we will have a report, but not we are not reporting any bug or anything. So bug will
uh
be like before. Uh-huh. we'll be reporting like before, whatever we have a old tradition. So we'll be reporting in Jira. So that is like same as before, and only here and in this process we'll be having a report, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And one more question is like, so do we have a recording for the sessions? Where do we get it once after the classes?
I think you can connect with the admins. I think they will be sharing it with you.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow morning they will
Fine.
share actually the playlist.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll check it out. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, people. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.